All right, so let's salute Black excellence.
Yeah.
And let's talk about some sorority that is near and dear to your heart.
That is my heart. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Take a look at their rich history and legacy of service.
100 years is significant no matter what you're talking about. This billboard is actually celebrating the first sorority graduate chapter for Black women in Georgia. It's Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated's Kappa Omega chapter, celebrating a century of service. 1923 in Atlanta was a difficult time for African Americans. There was segregation, lynchings, Jim Crow laws. Atlanta's most famous son, civil rights icon Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., had not yet been born. Despite it all, 10 courageous college-educated women started the Kappa Omega graduate chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. 100 years later, Bridget Grant is the current president.
And now to be able to celebrate Kappa Omega's 100, knowing all the things that, all the odds that they had to beat in order for us to be here.
Atlantan Marie Woolfolk Taylor had been one of the 16 young women who founded the nation's first Black sorority in America on Howard University's campus in Washington, D.C. Taylor, who was a social worker, came back home to expand the sisterhood in Atlanta.
Marie Woolfolk Taylor was a member of the First Congregational Church that was established in 1908. She was a lady of class. She knew how to deal with people. She was a great missionary.
The sorority's cornerstones are service and sisterhood. This donation drive is called Pretty Packs. Members, who normally don pink and green, are dressed in red to support Heart Health Month. The chapter assembled 1,200 packages of toiletries for Atlanta public school girls in need. Members say it's all about giving back.
A real Alpha Kappa Alpha woman leaves an impact in her neighborhood. She gives of herself, she gives of her time, her talent, and her money.
The Ivy Community Foundation, which is our philanthropic arm, owns its own building and has elevated the Atlanta community by awarding tens of thousands of dollars in college scholarships through several programs, including a very successful debutante cotillion. Other initiatives address literacy, education, economics, social justice, voter registration, and environmental sustainability. With a national membership of more than 355,000 women, perhaps the most well-known member is Vice President Kamala Harris. But in the Kappa Omega chapter, member Mary Frances Early, who is the first African American to graduate from the University of Georgia, is a trailblazer. And we can't forget Diamond member Anita Carson, who has served with distinction for 75 years and is 94 years old.
Yes, but there's so much excitement.
As Kappa Omega celebrates this historic milestone, the chapter boasts more than 500 members and vows to continue serving and impacting the community.
We have women today that are in all kinds of fields that are making wonderful impacts. You will not find us on the sidelines. We're in the front of everything.
I would like to see our level of service explode across Metro Atlanta. If you need hands, we are there. We are here to serve the community that we live in, and that's our goal.
The chapter will begin the centennial celebration with a gesture of respect and gratitude by laying a wreath at founder Marie Woolfolk Taylor's grave here in historic Oakland Cemetery. In Southeast Atlanta, Angelique Proctor, Fox 5 News.
All right, so look, I know that you're proud
Yes.
of these sisters. You're proud soror anyway.
Yes.
But when you see that this is one of those sororities and organizations that continues to blaze trails with Kamala Harris as vice president and so many other women that are doing so many great things. Courtney Hicks.
Knight.
Yeah, you know, Courtney Hicks. Courtney Hicks. But just being a member of this organization, and I know that there's so many, and you meet them all over the country, but when you see their vision become reality, especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Well, it's just an honor to be a part of such a rich legacy. And when I think about those women, our founders, we call them pearls, they were just, college age. We're talking about what, late teens, maybe early 20s, to have the forethought to gather and to put an effort, something like this together. And then to have the foresight to then incorporate it, to protect its integrity and its uniqueness is just absolutely awesome. And we're into 115 years of that legacy of service. And I'm just grateful and humbled and honored to be a part of the sisterhood, to be a part of the Divine Nine. It is definitely a unique experience. And I even have girlfriends who came over in the Alpha chapter right there at Howard. Yeah. And that rich legacy that started back in 1908. And it's just an honor to see and meet so many. You can be in the dollar store and be like, you see
that pink and green, you know what's up.
And it's just a hug, it's a hello, it's beautiful.
What is crazy is that in the span of 115 years, you've gone from the colleges to the anchor desk to the second highest office in the land. There's no telling what can happen over the next 115 years.
But
I'm here for it.
Yeah, absolutely. You say your mom's a part of the Divine Nine.
My mom is a part of the Divine Nine. She's Delta Sigma Theta.
Okay.
But she has two good friends, and Sandra and Sandra, both are AKAs. So, the Divine Nine runs in our blood, in our family. So.
Yeah. My husband's a Kappa.
Yeah.
His mom, AKA. His dad, a Q. His son, an Alpha.
That's a true legacy right there.
His aunt,
They're covering
Zeta.
all the Divine Nine right there. Yeah.
His sister-in-law, a Delta.
Yeah.
So, it just goes on and on and on. And so, listen, sometimes it's not for everybody, but for those who choose to be a part and walk that life, it's a beautiful walk, and there's a lot of good that comes out of it. And, these organizations are here to stay.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
It's always funny because whenever my mom comes to visit, she tries to recruit my daughter, who's only 3 years old. I say, hey, you're going to be a Delta, you're going to be a Delta. So I hope that she is a Delta, because I don't know if my mom's heart could take it if she joined another sorority. But, the Divine Nine, it's all love anyway.
Yeah, it really, really is.